Hello everybody, this is Chaos with Chaos Esports Productions, bringing you game number 3 of tonight's Clan War. We have Eternal Dreamers and oGaming duking it out in this friendly Clan War. This is going to be a best of 7. I did get confirmation of that during the last game, and it looks like we have a little bit of lag going on here. We'll have to see whether or not they're going to go ahead and call a pause before we introduce our players. Okay, looks like, Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and introduce our players here on ZvZ. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner with a very, very nice win last game, it is going to be oGaming's Tenza. And spawning in the lower right-hand corner, can the Master beats the Grandmaster, it is going to be Eternal Dreamers Maze. So, looks like all the debate of the lag is done. And we'll go ahead and get into this ZvZ. Now, ZvZ, in my opinion, is probably the most back-and-forth matchup ever. You have the Muta-style, Muta Wars, whatever you want to call it. You do see some Muta versus, like, Roach Hydra compositions, but I find the Muta style tends to be the more favored comp, so kind of interesting. So we do have spawning pool first coming out of Maze. Obviously Maze is going to be focused on his economy, out of Tenza, whereas Maze is focusing on a little bit potentially more aggression. He's going to go ahead and plant down the spawning pool first, playing it a little bit safer, doesn't want to deal with any potential cheese out of his opponent, and is going to go ahead and plant down his expansion just behind the spawning pool. So, looks like Tenza's going to be going with a very, very similar build that he had in the last game, going down for that hatchery first, followed by the extractor, then the spawning pool. So, it looks like he does tend to favor that build, now that this is the second time that we have seen it. So we'll have to see whether or not Maze is actually going to choose to be aggressive behind this. Obviously, he's getting a later gas than his opponent, so his speed will probably be up, I would say, at a fairly similar time than his opponent. So Maze is going to go ahead and get out a handful of lings just to probably take the watchtowers, make sure everything is rocking and rolling. Now, as far as ZvZ goes, it looks this map is kind of probably one of my favorites as a Protoss player, just because the third base is relatively easy to take and defend. You've got a fairly small choke over here, and you more or less just position your army kind of in this position, and getting kind of along this path is pretty safe. And so you can obviously take that third just a little bit earlier and get your economy up. So we'll have to see. Now, ZvZ, obviously, you don't have as much potential to do that. So a couple Zerglings going to pop out here, and Maze is going to have to retreat for now. So I'd say overall, Maze is actually, he's playing very, very cautious this game. He's actually going to go ahead and plant down a very, very quick spine crawler. And both players will actually go ahead and plant down their Baneling nests promptly. So we will have to see if this turns into Baneling Speedling Wars, because that's kind of what it's looking like. And actually it looks like Tenza is going to try and sneak into the main, actually going to get a very, very nice scout. He is going to come in here and pretty much see... he only saw the extractor, so he doesn't quite know that there is a Baneling nest on the way. Obviously he did see the spine crawler as he came in, but overall he doesn't really have a good idea that his opponent is going for Banelings just as well as he is. I'm really surprised he didn't try and get in a little deeper to see if there was any tech. So that's kind of interesting. But it does look like Tenza is going to go ahead, and 22 lings already out on the field. It looks like Tenza's just going to go for it. He's basically saying, you know what, speed is going to be... actually, speed is already done. And it actually looks like a couple of these drones are already putting into position to get out of here, and the rest of the drones are actually going to go ahead and be evacuated. So Maze is definitely very, very scared. Obviously, he sees all of the lings and banelings being morphed in right outside his base, so he's definitely preparing for a very, very nice little... Ooh, he might get a couple of banelings for free. Okay, so it was kind of one-to-one trade. Overall, didn't get too much done. Banelings are going to try and go in and do a fair amount of damage. Now, with all these Lings screaming in, both these Queens are going to immediately fall, and the natural is more or less forfeited this for Maze. It's going to be very, very difficult for Maze to come back from this with both Queens going down, and those Banelings doing a significant amount of damage to the remaining Lings of Maze. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to get enough units in time. Obviously, without any injects, it's more or less going to go down. The Banelings are going to try and get in here and get some damage down on these Lings, and actually it looks like Tenza's like, no, I am letting this go down, and Maze is going to go ahead and call GG, putting oGaming up 2-1.